Okay, good morning. So let us, as usual on Fridays, do the homework together. Oh, okay. So the first problem, let me read it here for you. So consider the following algebraic expression. It's a long one. As I told you, it's a homework, so I don't have any time limitation for you, so you can sit down and work it patiently. If you expand and simplify this expression, the answer is equal to what? And then you're supposed to type it here. Okay, so I have written it here on the board. Let us do it together if you have problems with that. So you see, I told you before, if the problem is hard, you shouldn't look at the entirety of the problem. But this problem, even though might be hard, but it is composed of simple parts. So one part is this one. The other part is that one. The next part is this one, and 20 is just. So yes, it is composed of some simple parts, so you can do each one step by step and then solve the problem. So for this one, minus is -1, apparently. So I keep the minus sign here, and what I do, I open a pair of brackets and then answer this within that pair of brackets. So especially if it is in an exam, you have just to be patient, that's it. So what I will do, I will multiply 2x by 4x squared, it becomes 8x cubed. And then I take 2x, multiply it here, it becomes 12x squared. And then I will take this one and multiply it here, it becomes 18x, yes? When this is done, I go backwards and then pick -3 and do the same. So -3 times 4x squared is -12x squared. -3 times 6x is -18x. And -3 times 9 is -27. So I kept this one here. I opened the pair of brackets and just multiplied them. So this one itself is an E-level question. So everyone should be able to do that. Okay? So you can see that this is the combination of some E-level problems. So what I will do here, I keep this +2, and I will do the same. I open a pair of brackets, and I multiply 2x, these two. Yes, so 2x times that is what? 4x cubed. 2x times -1 is -2x. When it is done, I go back to 5 and do the same. So 5 times 2x squared is 10x squared. 5 times -1 is -5. So let me bring it a little bit closer. So here you can do the same thing. You just copy and paste -4, and then you open a pair of brackets. And then what do? You take -1, multiply it here, so it becomes -x. You take 5x and multiply it here, it becomes what? 5x squared. And then finally you have +20 at the end. This is the first step. The second step, of course, you can start multiplying, but if you remember, I told you that for human brain, it is always easier to simplify and then continue. So, because of that, I try to simplify things within this pair of brackets if possible. And it is possible and actually very good, because this 12x squared and that -12x squared are gone, totally gone. And this 18x and that -18x are also gone. Yes? So what I will do, I will write minus what is left over is 8x cubed and minus 27. So be patient, yes? Especially in the exam, don't take any risks. But can I simplify something here? No. So what I will do, I will multiply 2 in. So what happens? 2 times that is 8x cubed. 2 times -2x is -4x. And then 2 times that one is +20x squared. And please check my calculations. If I am making a mistake, please let me know immediately. 2 times -5 is -10. Can I simplify something here? No. So I multiply -4 in. So -4 times -x is +4x. And that one is -20x squared. And then, of course, I have 20 alone here. Yes. But this minus sign is still left. You know that I have to remove this pair of brackets. So what will happen? This minus sign goes for this one and that one. So if you don't mind, because I'm a little bit lazy to write everything down again, I take this off, and this positive 8 becomes negative, but this negative 27 becomes positive. So, yes, let us cheat a little bit, and then this becomes positive. Is that okay? Now I simplify the last step. So what I will do, this one, minus 8x cubed, positive 8x cubed, they are gone. Is there something more? Yes. Minus 4x and positive 4x is also gone. And then 20x squared minus 20x squared is also gone. So what is left for me? 27 minus 10 is 17. 17 plus 20 is just a number, 37. Yes? So this very long expression is actually is not a very long expression, because if you simplify it, it becomes 37. And that is exactly the power of algebra. So for example, if in the exam I give you this, and I ask you to calculate this for 123, I will answer your question. I say that, okay, given this polynomial, given this expression, evaluate its value for x equals to 23. Okay? Of course, if you have GeoGebra available, if that's the case, you can type this in GeoGebra, use the substitution rule, and then substitute and find the answer. But if you want to immediately put it there, 23, you have to multiply 23 by 2 minus 3, and then 23 to power 2. You see, it becomes actually not possible during the exam time without any calculators. So the whole point for human brain is that if you simplify and then continue, it is much more efficient. Okay, so this expression is always 37. So it doesn't matter what you put for x. Whatever value you choose for x, the answer becomes 37. That's the interpretation. Yes?
You know, at the beginning, you did minus 1 and 5x plus, no, multiplied by x. Why didn't you multiply it by 20 as well?
No, because this is plus. And this, so you see, when I have this expression multiplied by another expression plus another expression, these two are together, but this one is separate. So this one is a multiplication. Yes? So this means that this number and this pair of brackets and that x are a package. The 20 is added to it, so it's separate. Yes? Okay. So any questions? Okay. So now it was not that hard. Let us go to the next question. So the next question is more or less the same. The expression is changed. So consider exactly the same, another algebraic expression. If you expand and simplify the expression, the answer is equal to, and then you are supposed to find it here. So let us do that, okay? I have written it already on the board, so what should I do? The only problem here is this power of 2, but we practiced this when I was teaching you. What is the meaning of an expression to power 2? Okay, one mistake is some people write this to power 2, this to power 2. Is that right? You remember? If you forget, there is no way you learn. You have to find a way. Don't forget when you learn something. Okay? And there is one way. Do the homework. Many of you didn't do that. Okay? So don't expect if you don't do the homework, you will get a good grade. I'm just warning you again. Okay. I will come to answer. Okay, tell me, what should I do? Yes? Someone wanted to answer? Yes, Benjamin? You multiply it by itself. Yes, that's correct. Because if you have this still impression, if I give you a plus b to power 2, Still, many people make this mistake. Okay, I told you, if you think you will make this mistake, it is better to write it in your notebook and take a different color, especially a red one, and cross it over, which is not correct. Which one is correct? If I have a dot b to power 2, then yes, this is correct. Yes, but not for addition or subtraction. Okay, this doesn't work. So if I ask you what is, by the way, why this is true, because if you take a to the power of 2, what should I do? I will write a times b, I multiply it by itself. And then the answer becomes a times a, b times b, it's this way. But when it comes here, I cannot do that. So what I'm supposed to do, the first thing that you have to do is to understand the power of 2 means this expression multiplied by itself. So this becomes minus 2, 1 minus, the first thing that I will do, I will write it like this. Yes? Yes? And the next thing I will do here is that it's a little bit longer, so we have to be more careful here. Okay, because this would be a long problem, try to do as many steps in one go as possible, of course. So everyone agrees that what I have written is true? So the first thing that you do is for power of 2, you repeat it 2 times. So that is why if I give you 3, 4, it's extremely hard. Because if I give you 4, then you have to multiply that by itself 4 times, which is very lengthy. Okay? But you have to know the idea. But this one is easy. Okay, so what I will do, I will multiply 4 inside. But there are 2 things here. 4 should be multiplied here, 4 should be multiplied there. I hope that you don't have any problems with multiplying 4 by 3x over 2. This is what you are supposed to do. You take 4 and then multiply it in as usual. This is even E-level question, this part of it. Yes? So what should I do? I multiply 4 by 3x over 2, but you know that 2 by 2 1 times, 4 by 2 2 times. So 2 times 3x is 6x divided by 1, but no one writes 6x divided by 1. The answer is simply 6x. So when I multiply 4 in, the answer becomes 6x. And it is not finished because I have to multiply 4 there as well. But 4 times a quarter becomes 4 times 1 over 4. The answer is 1. Yes, so the answer becomes plus 1. 4 times plus 1 over 4 is plus 1. And then I copy and paste that part. So this problem is very lengthy, but you have to be patient. Okay, so the next step, you know that this, because this is lengthy, try to do it efficiently as possible. So for example, instead of putting x there and then consider this 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, I can in my head put x here and then consider 2x and this 3 numbers. It is better. So this is why I will write it as minus 2x and I open a pair of brackets, so don't get confused. I realize that it is better for me to put x here, but then I open a pair of brackets, multiply these two. So 1 times 1, 1 times minus 3x, then minus 3x times 1, and then minus 3x times minus 3x. Positive 9x squared. Yes? But then this one, there are 3 numbers that I have to multiply, and then this one is 4. So it's very long. So what should I do? I have to, for example, keep the first 2. Yes? I keep this one, I keep this one, and I decide to multiply these 2. Okay? So what should I do? X times x, x times 1, and 1 times x, 1 times 1. And then I copy and paste the rest, because nothing I can do about them. Yes? And then I told you that I simplify and then continue. For example, you don't need to write it again. You can have a different color in the exam. Between these two, I have minus 3x here, minus 3x here becomes minus 6x. And then here, I have positive x, so it becomes what? Positive 2x. Okay? So let us do it again. Now, this minus 2x should be multiplied inside. So what happens? Minus 2x times number 1 is minus 2x. But this is minus 6x. I am multiplying minus 2x in. Minus 2 times minus 6, positive 12. X times x, x squared. But I have to multiply this here as well. So minus 2 times 9 is minus 18. X, x squared, x cubed. That's it. Okay? But here, I have to do it one more step. So what I will do, I will write minus 6, and then I multiply this by that in a pair of brackets. Yes? So let us do that. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. And then I go backward and pick this one. Minus 3x here, it's minus 3x cubed. Minus 3x times positive 2x becomes negative 6, because minus 3 times positive 2 is minus 6. X times x is x squared. And then minus 3x times 1 is minus 3x. And then copy and paste quickly the rest. Okay. But again, before continuation, it is better to simplify things here, yes? But because they are a little bit far away from one another, so let me pick my color and simplify it here, okay? So I have 2x squared here, minus 6x squared becomes minus 4x squared. I have 4x here, minus 3x becomes positive x. But these are alone. So I have to copy and paste them. So it is extremely handy to have a different color, because otherwise you have to rewrite it again, which is a little bit boring. Okay, so then what should I do? I copy and paste the first part. And then what I will do, I will take minus 6 and multiply it inside. Minus 6 times minus 4x squared becomes positive 24 x squared. Minus 6 times x is minus 6x. Minus 6 times positive 2 minus 12. Minus 6 times minus 3 is positive 18x cubed. And then I will write 6x plus 1 minus 36x squared. And then finally, the last step, I simplify and write the answer. Okay? Okay, so let us do it. So minus 2x is similar with minus 8x, and it is similar with positive 6x. But the good news is that this one and that one are completely gone. What is left for me? Minus 2x only. Okay? And then, what happens now? This one, 12x squared, is similar to this one. So far, how many x squared I have? 12 here, 24 there, so it becomes 36. But then fortunately, I have also minus 36x squared there. So that is completely gone. Yes? And then another good news. What is this one? This one also completely cancel out with this one. So what is left for me? Two numbers. One of them minus 12. One of them is 1. So the answer becomes minus 11. This is the answer. Okay. Of course, I will not give some so lengthy question in the exam, but this is home assignment. Yes? No, leave it like this. Okay, so this is a home assignment, so it means that you have enough time, and then after this video is finished, this 6th problem, you will see that after all these explanations, how much time it takes. If you don't spend that much time during 1 week for this main course, then you will be, of course, in trouble. Okay, any questions so far? This skill, the reason I make the problem a little bit lengthy, because there is one thing you need to learn, to break down a hard problem to simple parts. So this problem might be, looks horrible, but this part of it is just this one. Okay? So if you can do this part, if you can do this part, if you can do this part separately, it shouldn't be hard for you to glue them in one problem. So that is the whole message I want to share with you, that you shouldn't freak out if the problem is long. Hard problems in mathematics are not usually the lengthy ones, are the ones that might be the answers are not that lengthy, but coming up with the idea how to solve the problem is hard. Okay? These skills everyone can learn, if they want to learn, of course. Okay, let me go to the next problem here. The next problem is more or less the same thing, but this time I have 3 parentheses. I want to multiply them. So this is a multiple choice question. And by the way, this is, you remember, if you have this radio button, like the circle, there is only one answer correct, but sometimes you will get a square. The square means that either one answer or more are correct. If there are more correct ones, you have to check out all of them. Okay? So remember, in the exam.net, the circle ones, of course, you don't get confused, because in the circle ones, when you click this one and you realize, no, it is wrong, you click this one, automatically that one is cleaned, erased, and this one is put. But if there is a circle, it means that I will, of course, always mention that which answer or answers are correct. In that case, you can choose one or more. Okay? So be careful about this point. Okay, let us go and try to solve this problem here. I have already written it on the board, but I hope that you know what to do. So tell me what to do. What should I do? So how? For example, I have 3 numbers to multiply. These are numbers. Of course, these are algebraic expressions, but at the end of the day, any algebraic expression is representing a number if you just choose values for x and y. So it means that either you multiply these 2 first, find the answer, and multiply these to the answer, or you multiply these 2 first, find the answer, and multiply it there. Okay? Let me do it from left to right. Okay, so what I will do, I will open a pair of brackets. My goal is that to answer this within this pair of brackets, I am not doing anything with this now, so I'll copy and paste it for the time being. Yes? Am I recording? Yes. Okay, so now I multiply this here, as usual. So it is 8x cubed. 2x times this. 4x squared, but y. And this one times that is 2xy squared. This is finished. I multiply this by that. It is minus 4x squared y. This one is minus 2xy squared. And finally this one, minus y cubed. Yes? Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. But is there something that I can simplify? Of course, some people can immediately start, but don't do that. Simplify and continue. Change your habit, okay? This one and that one are completely gone. What about the rest of it?
Yes, 2x cubed.
So I have written it a little bit badly. This power of 2 is for which one? Is for y, yes? Because this one,
No, it's for
so this one, yeah, this is for y, yes?
no. Yeah.
2x times y squared is here, yes? So this is also for y. So then it means that this one and that one are also cancelled. So it is not that lengthy, this problem, okay? So be patient and write it once more in front of your eyes, and then copy and paste this part, and then continue. Okay, so how should I continue? As usual, I take this one, multiply it here and there. So if I multiply the first one, the answer 8 times 8, 64. X times x cubed is x to the power 6. This one multiplied by that, y cubed. Now this one multiplied by that, and then this one multiplied by that. What is that? Still some people write y9. Yes, y6. Why? Because I am multiplying y to the third multiplied by y to the third. The bases are the same. I write the base and then I add the exponents, which becomes 6. So don't write y to the 9. Okay, is there something I can do more? Yes, because this x cubed, y cubed, and y cubed, x cubed are the same. One of them is positive 8, the other one is negative 8, so they are gone. So the answer to this problem is 64x to the power of 6 minus y to power 6. But which option is that? If we go back, I want you to see this is the first one. Yes? Is that right? Because, of course, this has written the other way around. Minus y to the 6 plus 64x6. And that is exactly this one. Because if I want to, I can move it to the other side and then 64x to the power of 6. Okay, be careful about this point. Do you remember? Let me change my color. I told you a plus b, if you want to replace them without any problems. If you have a minus b, if you want to replace them keeping the signs, still there is no problem. I can write minus b first and plus a second. That is also correct. But if a minus b, you want to replace a and b, keeping the minus sign here, then it is not possible. Unless you take a pair of brackets and put a minus sign there. So it is extremely important, again, if you haven't written it down, write it somewhere because it is important. Here you see, I am not flipping them. I am taking minus sign with me to the first one and a to the right one. Yes, and then I will have this answer. Okay, so be careful about these points. Okay, so now we go to question number 4. So what about question number 4? This might be a little bit more creative. I mean, it's not that boring as the previous problem. Still, it looks very lengthy, but it is not that hard if you understand what to do with this problem. This is why I want to hear from you. So let me show it, because I am recording it. Let me also show it on the page. Okay, so consider the following expression. This expression in its simplest possible form is equal to what? This problem is not as the previous problem. I don't consider this problem as boring as the previous one. Yes? You need to find a way to solve the problem a little bit simpler. I mean, it is very easy to see what to do. For example, again, if the problem is an A-level question, it is always composed of simple parts that you can do. Okay? And if you do the simple parts, of course, you will get some points in the exam as well. Okay, so what can I do for this one? So let us do it case by case. So for example, if this is given in the exam, you don't need to bother about the rest. Try to only do this one. And this is valuable because you are doing something. So what do you think I will do here? I have multiplication and I have power. So you need to remember one lesson. Power has priority. So what I will do the power first. So it becomes 19x multiplied. What happens here? X to the power of 20, and then x. But this is very, very simple. This is even Grundskolan problem, not even E-level question. So what happens? X times x to power 20 times x. This invisible power is 1. This invisible power is 1. I am multiplying powers with the same basis, so I add the exponents. So the answer becomes what? 19x to which power? 20. That's it. So no one can say that, okay, I cannot do that. Okay, now we go to the next one. The next one so this one, you don't need to do anything. This one, you don't need to do anything. So the only problematic part is this part. But you have to analyze it. Okay, you have a power of 2, but you have a pair of brackets. This pair of brackets prioritize the operation inside. Yes? So I have to do this one first. So if you don't mind, let me write it here for you. So 3x to power 11 minus x to power 5, 3x squared minus 4x squared to the power of 3. Yes, so what I'm doing, I don't want to distract myself. I took whatever was inside and write it in front of me so that I am not confused. Okay? And now, forget about the rest. This is a C-level question or even E-level question. So what should I do here? I have multiplication, I have subtraction, I have power. Okay? And then within the power, I have a pair of brackets. So which one of these operations should be done first? No, power cannot be done yet because power is outside the pair of brackets. So the priority is always with pair of brackets. So what should I do? It means I have to do this one first. If you couldn't solve this problem, you need to ask yourself why I couldn't solve this problem. Because you know the rule, you know which one has the priority. So you have to follow the rules that you know, yes? So what is the answer to this? 3x squared minus 4x squared. The answer is minus x squared. So if you want, let me write it here. Minus x squared to the power of 3. If you don't know the answer to this problem, it means that you have problems with simple rules. So what is the answer to this problem only? Minus x squared to the power of 3. What is the answer to this problem?
6 minus x.
No, with confidence. What is minus x squared to power? Yes, right?
Is it to power 6?
Exactly read it for me.
Minus x to the power 6.
Yes. Minus. Why do you keep minus? Why did you choose to keep minus sign? It's just correct. Why did you choose that one?
Because you multiply the exponent.
No, the reason is that when I have a negative sign and this number is odd, it remains negative. If it was 4, what was the answer to this one? This one. Then it becomes just x to power 8. Because this is even, it will actually get rid of this minus sign. So because of this odd, you kept correctly. Okay? So then I continue here. I copy and paste 3x11 minus, I copy and paste x to power 5, but then I multiply it, as you told me correctly, by minus x to power 6. Yes?
Isn't minus x to the power 6 equal to x to the power 6?
Yes, it is equal.
What?
They're the same.
No.
You can remove the minus.
No, that's what I'm saying. Be careful again. So you see, this is not the weakness from this problem. The weaknesses are coming from small things that you don't know and then they accumulate, then you make an error. Okay, this problem, I told you there is a difference between 2 to power 6 and minus 2 to power 6. Yes? This one, this power of 6 cannot get rid of this minus sign even though it is even. Yes? Because this means 2 to power 6 and then multiplied by minus sign. But this one means minus 2 as a whole multiplied by itself 6 times. So every time you multiply a minus by a minus, it becomes positive. So if you multiply a minus sign 6 times, at the end it becomes positive. So no, this 6 cannot get rid of this minus sign. Yes, do you understand now? Yes? Okay, so I continue. So this minus sign, multiplied that minus sign becomes positive. X to power 5, x to power 6 becomes x to power. So I copy and paste this one. Minus times minus plus. X to power 5 times x to power 6 is x to power 11. Yes? But can I write this a little bit simpler? Yes, this is 3x11. This is another x11. So it becomes in total 4x11. Okay, so what you see, this 4x11, is the answer that I calculated for this part. Yes? And now let me glue everything together. So this skill you have to learn. Break the hard problem into simple parts. Okay, so the question mark that we are looking for is equal. Instead of the first part, what can I write? 19x squared. Sorry, x22, sorry. Minus, be careful, the number that the expression that I calculated here is not the whole package, is what is inside. So it becomes 4x11, but outside this I have a power of 2. And then I copy and paste the rest. Okay, let us continue. Nothing I can do for it for the time being. Minus is minus. What is the answer to this? No, this one to power 2. It means 4x11 multiplied by 4x11. What is the answer? 16x to power 22. Yes? So this becomes minus 16x to power 22, and then minus 3x to power 22, and then plus 1. So what will be the answer finally? I have 19x to power 22. 16x22 is taken out from it. How many is left? 3. But 3 is also gone. So this means that this one and that one and that one are completely gone. So what's the answer? 1. So again, this is the power of algebra. Instead of working with this very nasty expression, you can just replace it with simply 1. Okay, and this is what you have to learn in the course of algebra. Okay? Any questions? Okay, but I need to clean the board, so I show you the next problem. At least if you haven't thought about the problem at home, you can think about it here, yes? So consider this following expression as you see here. If you simplify this expression as much as possible, it becomes equal to, we are supposed to write the answer here. Okay, so please start doing at least one part of it if you haven't already done that, so that I have time to clean the board. Don't waste your time. Okay. So here we want to solve this problem. I can show some of the page of the book that it is relevant to this problem. You didn't have this problem in the book, I agree, but you had a problem similar to this in the book. You had a problem similar to this in the book. So this means that this is 2 problems of the book combined into 1 problem, and that is because it is home assignment, you have enough time, you don't have stress, you have access to everything that you want to. Yes? So I would call this one A. So to simplify things, if you don't mind, let me call this part A. I am lazy to write it all over again. So then I ask you, what should I do for finding A? What was the lesson behind this part? Factorize. Because I told you the common mistake is some people simplify 10 with 20. These kinds of simplifications are not allowed. Yes? So what you do, you factorize the numerator. Factorize means pulling the biggest possible thing out. So between 20 and 30, what is the biggest number that I can pull out? So that 20 and 30 is divisible by that number. It's 10. I have 3 x's here, 2 x's here. So maximally, I can pull 2 x's out. And I have 3 y's here, 4 y's here. What can I put? 3. Okay? And then do you remember what I told you? This is negative, and then you have to fill up 2 question marks. So that when you multiply it back here, it gives you the first term. When you multiply it back here, it gives you the second term. Yes? So what should I do now? What should I write here? 20, what should I write for the number? It should be 2, because 10 times 2 is 20. How much x I need? 1x, because this is 3, I pulled 2 out, so 1x is needed. How much y I need? Nothing. So let me make it a little bit bigger. And do the same question here. So from 30, I pull 10 out. So what should I write? 3, because 10 times 3 is 30. How many x's I need? Nothing. How many y's I need? 1. This is the factorization of the first one. And I will do the same thing here. So that is the same problem. So I'm repeating the same problem 2 times. It's not hard. Between these two numbers, what is the maximum number I can pull out? 5. Between x squared and x, what can I pull out? X. Between y's, y to the 3. Yes? And then again, I have a minus sign. I need to fill up these gaps. What should I write here? 2x. Do you agree? Because 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared. Y cubed is just y cubed. And then simply this becomes what? 3y. Is that right? Okay. Now if I ask you how many factors you see in the numerator, 10x squared, which is xx, y cubed, which is y, and the whole package of 2x minus 3y as a whole. This is a product, yes? And that's also a product. So can I take this one off with that one? Yes, because this is a factor, that's a factor, and they are identical, so that's the common factor. So 1 is left. Between numbers, 5, 1 times, 10, 2 times. Y cubed and y cubed are completely gone. So if you want, you can write 1 is left. But 1x is here, 2 x's are there. So if I simplify, this x is totally gone. How many x's are left? 1x is left. Yes? So let us write the answer. 2 times x times 1 times 1. The answer is simply 2x. 1, 1, 1, 1. If I multiply everything, it becomes 1. So do I bother to write 1? No. The answer is simply 2x. If you could solve this one, it means that you definitely can solve this one. But you combine them. So let us go to part B. Part B, again, repeat it. I have to factorize that. So what number I can pull out in the numerator? 6. How many x's I can pull out? 2, because it has 3 x's, it has 2 x's, so maximally I can pull 2 out. What about y's? y2 again. So again, I will fill up this gap, but this time with positive sign, because it is positive. So what should I write here? Yes, because that is x. If I multiply this back, 6x squared y squared becomes 6x cubed y squared. What is left from the last one? 2. And y. Yes? Are you following or not? Okay, so that is the answer. But here I will do the same thing. What can I pull out? 6 again, x squared, and y. Very good. And what is left? Let us see. X is left plus 2y. Very good. Do you have any problems understanding what I'm saying now? Okay, so you don't have, never you had. Yes? But you forget. This you have to find a way not to forget. And that is only revision and reviewing. Okay, what can I do here? 6 and 6 are gone. X squared and x squared are completely gone. What about y's? 1y here and 1y there are gone. 1y is left. And what about this one and this one? They're also gone. So what is the answer to the this expression? 1 times 1 times y times 1 is y, and everything is 1. So I just write that. So what is the question mark then? What is the a? A is 2x. Plus, what is the b? Y. This is a plus b. But after a plus b, the problem has given me a minus 2x. But this is also very simple, because now what has this one and that one are gone. The answer to this problem is simply y. So this whole expression is just simply y. Yes? So you can consider this problem 2 A-level, because this was A-level problem in your book. This was another A-level problem. I just glued them in one problem.
So this is A.
Yeah. Any questions? Okay, so let us go to the next problem.
The next problem, you haven't seen these type of problems in the book, but you should expect this, because in the exam for A-level questions, you will receive questions that you haven't seen before. And next year in the national exam in Ma1c, you will not even receive any question that you have seen in the book. So you have to learn how to solve problems. So consider the following expression as you see it here. The exact value of this expression for x equals to 2 is equal to what? The naive approach, which is not possible, is to replace x with 2 immediately, which becomes hard, even technically not possible, because 2 to the power of 100, how can I calculate that? The whole point is to do what? To simplify this algebraically as we learned, and then in the simplified version, replace x with 2. Even though technically speaking, you can replace x with 2 first and then simplify, but for human brain, doing it and then simplifying it is much harder than simplifying first and then do the answer and find the answer. So you have to change this habit a little bit. Okay, so let me go to the board and then finalize this homework finally. So, but now that you understand, you know what to do. What I'm supposed to do, I am supposed to simplify this expression, then put x equals to 2. Why? Because for human brain, this is the only possible way to do. Okay, so what do? I have to simplify, but this is the same problem with bigger numbers. So it means that if I ask you to simplify it, you factorize it. Between numbers, what is the biggest number I can pull out? 7. Here I have 100 x's, here I have 75 x's. So how many x's I can pull out maximally? 75. So x to the power of 75 is pulled out. And then I have a plus sign, I have to fill up these gaps. Okay, what number should be here? Something that 7 multiplied by that number gives me 14, so it is 2. Here I have 100 x's, 75 of them I pulled out. How many of them are left? 25. Yes? And then this one, which number it should be? 3. Do I need any x's? No, it had 75 x's. I pulled all of them out, so that is the only problem left. The only number left. And then I will do the same thing here. There is nothing I can pull out between numbers, but is there any x I can pull out? Yes, here I have 95 of them, here I have 70 of them, so maximally I can pull 70 out. Okay, so what is left here? You need to answer the question so that when I multiply it back, it gives me this. It becomes 2x to the power of 25. And then plus sign, what is left here?
3.
Just 3. Yes? But can I simplify things? Quite a lot, yes? So here, first of all, 2x to the power of 25 plus 3 is a factor now. This is also a factor. And then, fortunately, this is the common factor. So it can be cancelled. Here I have 70 x's. Here I have 75 x's. So I can cancel them out. How many x's are left? 5. Okay, and then I will write the answer. So the answer is 7 times x to the 5 times 1. So the answer is 7x to the 5. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then 1 times 1 is just 1. Do I need to write 1? No. So now this expression, a very big expression, we simplify that. It becomes just very simple expression. Now they are not asking you what is the simplified version of this. They are asking you what is this number if I choose x to be 2. Now that I know this expression and this expression are equal, instead of replacing x with 2 in this big form, I just replace this x with 2. Okay? So the question mark to the problem is 7 times 2 to the power of 5. And then, of course, when they ask you to write it in the simplest possible form, so you have to calculate this. But 2 to the power 5 is simple. 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times, it is 32. And then this, I hope that you don't have any problems. 7 times 30 is 210. 7 times 2 is 14. So in total, 224. And 224 is the answer that you are supposed to type here. Any questions? Okay, so let me stop this recording and let us see how much time we spent to just solve them.